What's up, Manifesto fam? I'm back in Orlando, Florida. Well, right here, Kissimmee, Florida. After such a, time in Europe, which I hope you've been checking out the vlogs, just seeing the journey we took in Europe. Such an amazing time. Found this cool little owl just as a backdrop to this video here. But yeah, I just wanted to share just something the Lord had been speaking to me this past week from John chapter 6. It's when Jesus did the miracle of breaking of bread. So when Jesus broke bread, did this miracle, fed thousands of people, right? It says this one statement after he'd done everything. He says, when Jesus, perceived that they were about to take him by force and make him king, he fled, he slipped out, and he ran away to be alone with the Father up the mountain. What strikes me about this passage is the fact that Jesus, his identity is a king. He is rightfully king. That is actually the name we give him, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, right? So Jesus is king. He knows he's king. But he perceived that they were about to pin an identity, first of all, that was out of season and out of order. He knew what kind of king they wanted. And he knew that that wasn't the king that he was ordained by God to be for them. So even in the whole identity movement, guys, a lot of times we get caught up in the statements of our identity and who we are, but don't realize that a lot of times it's still very tainted. Like, we need a pure expression from God of who our identity is. So Jesus knew who he was as king, but he was unwilling to compromise how the Father called him king and how this generation was calling him king. So he fled, because an identity out of season will crush you. Jesus knew that this wasn't his time for his kingship and rulership. He knew that the way for him to become king was through the cross and by the cross. And this is the wisdom of God to show us different paths than what this world has taught us and trained us of how to climb the ladder of success or of our own identity and our own call. Even with all our identity stuff, we got to be very careful to allow God to define what those identities actually look like in different seasons in our life. Because if we put ourselves out there in a time of hiding, it will crush us. If we're not ready for promotion, if we're not ready for, Jesus could have justified himself all the way, all day if he wasn't in communion with the Father, he would have justified that move to become king. But he was unwilling to compromise because he knew his times and seasons. The Father is fathering each one of you guys into your true identity, into your true call. And just be sensitive and don't rush into things. If you feel rushed into things, slow down. Relax, spend time with the Father, get alone. This is what Jesus did. He went to get away with God and say, God, I can't do this right now. So he went to be alone with God and was reconfigured and got peace. And then he walked on water that night, saw the disciples, brought them to the shore, and so on. Read John chapter 6. Here's my challenge for you guys, Manifesto fam. Read John chapter 6, read that passage, see if you find any golden nuggets, share them down below, and then subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the Manifesto fam journey. So grateful for you guys that watch, and I'm just excited where God's taking us. We have a month before we start our schools, Sold Schools. If you don't know what I do here, we're inviting people to live with us. There's a few spots available. If you're hungry for more Jesus and you want to be discipled this fall, click the link below, soldschools.com, and check out, maybe come and live with me this fall. Consider it, just consider it, maybe, So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe below, be part of the journey together, and I'll see you in the next vid. Peace. Let's go say hi to Chegg. Chegg's been quietly waiting for me to finish. What's up, Chegg?
So I'm just writing down this prophetic word I received today. Honestly, it was so encouraging, and it was exactly what I needed. The Lord knows I'm not gonna share what it is, but man, God is good, and no matter what you're going through, just keep your eyes on him, and then make sure you got brothers and sisters around you that can encourage you and speak life in you, and also call you out in love and truth. You know what I'm saying? And let's call each other higher. So bless up. Let's go, baby.
Come on. Fresh Rider. All right, y'all. Peace.